So this is gonna be my first time to do a live event via green screen. So if you're as excited as I am to find out what the possibility of the new normal for live events is gonna be, then join me and let's check this whole thing. Everything is already, the show must go on. People have started to go back to work, and the same goes with me as well, which is why finally, for a change, we're somewhere other than being stuck at home in place or having an event in front of a lot of people. Maybe this new normal calls for something different. We're about to enter a studio where we're going to try to simulate what a live event used to look like via green screen. There's a feeling of optimism because at least may nangyayari. Diba? People are starting to innovate because for a while, especially nung simula pa lang to lahat, a lot of people, especially in the events industry, were really banking on this as being just a sustainable line of work. Especially here in the Philippines, na very festive lahat ng tao, there's a reason to celebrate almost every day. And then now, biglang natigil yung lahat. So now, I really am fortunate enough to be able to work with people who are trying to find ways to bring this industry back to life. So hopefully this is gonna catch on and we can start moving and working again and ease our way back into the world that we once knew for it to be. You have to be safe. Fill up forms like this just to show everyone that you're healthy enough to work. You're not only responsible for your own safety, but everyone should be responsible for everybody else's safety as well. So you need to fill this up. You always need to wear a mask. Kita nyo naman si Kuya. Checks everybody's temperature when they enter. And of course, you have to sanitize your hands every time you touch something or come into contact with someone else. All right, so this is our stage for the day. Pretty different from what I'm used to, but very impressive. Makes me all the more excited to see how this is all gonna go. So the director is just going through how the cameras are supposed to be angled during the event later. That's why I can't be too noisy right now because everybody's just trying to figure things out about how to make this go smoothly tonight. New normal looking pretty good, and at least everybody's following the proper guidelines and story. I'm whispering, we're running through the program now. Kaya katulad nung sinabi ni Direk kanina, this is a time for us to adjust because we're trying to turn events into something that might simulate watching television. Kaya nakita niyo yung mga gamit dito, performance level talaga, and it's like we're in an actual television studio. So far so good. I hope this is a good sign of things to come, especially for us na ito yung industriya natin. Ang daming nangyayari dito. We have cameras, we have live feed, may mga patch-in pa tayo from Zoom. So sometimes, there might be something that could come up, be it slow internet or a technical difficulty, may na-disconnect or something like that. So I think more than anything, yun yung kailangan natin ma-fine-tune for now because these are all the things that you're gonna be hinging on or the success of the event is gonna be hinging on. But more than anything, this is great. One of the prevailing traits a host should have in handling an event properly is flexibility. But now it's completely different kind of adjustment and flexibility that you have to do because you can't just be too spontaneous. You have to have this level of being refined because you're in front of the camera. It's like putting on a television show where everything or most everything is already tailor-fit to look good on people's screens. People should be able to project themselves properly in front of the camera. Be more conscious about the timings when you're supposed to deliver your spiels because minsan may latency with regard to technology. And iba na rin yung dynamic with the director, the floor director, with the people handling the tech booths. So this is a different game. But it's a game that I, including a lot more others, would be happy to try to learn and to play around. Alright, now since this isn't the usual stage live audience setup, this is how things may look in the coming months or maybe in a few years. To my right, this is really what you're gonna see. This is the people controlling everything. Production part of it, where you switch from one scene to the other. This is where they actually superimpose the stage that we're trying to simulate. At least may mga dividers siya. Everyone is still practicing proper distancing and wearing face masks. So let's have a look at this. Just so you have an idea of how everything looks, since this looks pretty complicated. It's pretty magical stuff. Movie magic talaga to. At live events, may ganitong counterpart din naman because there's a tech booth where people control the production, and only this time, medyo visual na yung kinokontrol natin. And it's more direct communication since this is where we're all going to be. So for an event with this level of production, you really need a studio because you need an ample amount of space and you need to have the right equipment. You see the big umbrellas up there with the lights and everything. The works talaga to para tayong nasa studio. You want me to check it out over there? All right, let's check this out. Oh yeah, definitely. I can definitely read this. So instead of me, nakalagay kung sino nag-send yan. I can read it. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Since this is new technology, we're trying to troubleshoot if makikita ko ba yung comments. Thank you very much, Butch, our talented floor director. Did I get that right? Butch knows. Butch knows.
Ano yung sabi mo sir?
Butch knows. Butch knows. We can censor that in the video. Tapos makita mo naman, this is a good production because you have monitors everywhere, so I can see my position on stage. I have teleprompters here. So since everything needs to be precise, yung feels nandiyan na, wala na akong cue cards. I'm reading everything on the prompter. But of course, iba pa rin talaga kung live event kasi you can feel the crowd, you can feed off them. We all have to make do with what we have, but at least everything is still pretty great. And the people here are fantastic. So I really am thankful to be able to work with them because this might be the catalyst for the re-emergence of the events industry in the Philippines. So I really am hopeful for all this. So here with us, Miss Princess, the person responsible for everything. Miss Princess, thank you for this conversation.
Hi, Kevin.
I like how the both of us are wearing face masks. Pero this be the first of its kind in the country?
What we're doing kasi is the 2D virtual conference. 2D virtual conference kasi is one of our new services, one of the new services of OnQ Media. This is under the new services na low-touch BTL. What will happen now to the clients? Paano na yung engagement nila to their customers, to their market? So this is the 2D virtual event. So this is actually your simple webinar or your standard webinar na level up lang siya. So what we there are options. What we do is parang like you, the host, is shot on chroma, and then we overlay it to layout, and then we stream it live.
So from the video that you sent me before we actually met and did this today, yung linaunch nyo yung service na to with James Deacon.
That one, that's...
I was really impressed with it. I didn't know kung hindi yung sinabi sa akin na green screen. I wouldn't know that it was shot chroma.
Okay. So what you saw, the one I shared you, is the 3D event in the plenary area. So for that one, we used several cameras para different angles, para you can really have a feel of the event. Para yung feel talaga ng audience, parang nandun ka lang dun sa luma. But it's now the new normal na contactless. So
where did you do that? Where should you do that kapag yan yung gusto niyo magiging execution?
For streaming naman, we can use any webinar platform or any video conference software. That can happen naman. Parang there's just a link na nandun sa VIP when you go to the plenary para to direct you to that webinar platform. And then now you can have a view of the event.
Some people might think this would be intimidating kasi full-on production talaga. How small and how big can you get just so everybody can understand?
Yung mga important people lang talaga should be present because of the protocols that we follow. So we even use, so parang kung na-notice mo, we have dividers talaga. We produced acrylic dividers para to make sure na hindi talaga siya dikit-dikit, and then following the 1 meter distance. Then from entering pa lang the studio, it is the agency's effort talaga na ginawa siya We hired security officers and then a registered nurse just to make sure that everyone's safe inside. Parang we created mga frames and templates para hindi siya boring to the audience. We integrate games within the program. We make use of the functions available in the platform. Like for example, the poll, ganyan, the chat box.
What do you think the future of events will look like?
Ako personally, I still pray that we go back to the normal. But since not, so we just make do, go with the flow, or even further. Yung foresight natin should be parang just right na lahat ng pwedeng matulungan natin can benefit from what we're doing.
Maybe you can invite or promote your company and the services that you offer.
Yeah, actually, just visit our website and our FB page. For our website, it's onqmedia.com.ph, and then you just search for onqmedia in Facebook. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Princess.
We have a lot. We have a lot of low touch BTL services that we can offer.
Thank you very much. Oh, social distancing handshake. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this whole experience was interesting, to say the least, especially because this is something new. In fact, we're doing something that not a lot of people have tried out before. And in fact, this may actually be the future of how we do events in moving forward with this industry. What I've realized that I'm thankful for the most are the people. Especially during these very trying times, you see everybody, even though they're dealing with their own personal problems, trying to make ends meet amidst all this uncertainty, you see people still helping each other out, extending a hand to help someone else. And these are the people that you should take notice of, the good ones, the people who are here to help. Because without them, we're not gonna have all this. The events industry might not be able to bounce back, and we won't get back on our feet again. But here we are, with everything starting to get their gears running again, and hopefully sooner rather than later, we're gonna go back to the world that we once knew. Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Lapena. I'm a television and events host and a travel media producer, which basically means I speak in front of a lot of people or in front of the cameras as well. And I also do a lot of weddings here in the Philippines, as you know how festive it is over here. And at the same time, I also put together different features on TV, print, online, about the different places that I travel to all over the world. So if these things might interest you, please hop over to my channel so you can see content that I talk about, where I talk about these things and some of the things in between as well. So please do like and subscribe to my channel, follow me on my socials, and hopefully I get to see you soon.